This is a brief history about lavender within queer culture. We will talk about pivotal moments which have been influenced by this colour and flower and why it's still relevant today. Sappho is one of the great poets of ancient Greece. Born in 620 BC, she was unique due to her choice to write from her own perspective about love. She has remained popular because the subject matter of her poems remains relevant today. The word lesbian came from the connection made to Sappho being from the island of Lesbos. There are only a few fragments of Sappho's poems which can be found. Here is one where she speaks of women being adorned in flowers. Das Lila Lied, the Lavender Song, was written in 1920 by Kurt Schwabach, with music by Misha Spolansky. It is thought to have been made popular in Berlin's cabaret scene and is noted as one of the first gay anthems. The Captive was written by Edward Bordeaux in 1926 as a Broadway play for Paris and New York. It is a love story between two women who gift each other violets. This sparked a trend where people in the queer community would pin a sprig of violets to their lapel as a sign of solidarity and recognition within the LGBTQIA+ movement. It might not quite be lavender, but similarities can be drawn between these purple flowers and their significance within the community. The phrase lavender menace was first used by Betty Friedan in a slur against lesbians, who she believed posed a threat against the feminist movement. The Second Congress to Unite Women was held on the 1st of May in 1970. This was organised by the National Organisation for Women, which was co-founded by Freuden. Lesbians were excluded from attending this conference. Rita Mae Brown organised a group of 40 lesbian feminists to dye and print t-shirts with the word Lavender Menace written across the front, which they wore to the Second Congress to Unite Women in what is called a ZAP. This is a political performance intended to create change, often through shaming individuals for opinions and actions which have been harmful and discriminative. During this demonstration, several members stood up to present their t-shirts, placards, to create noise and invite members of the party to join them in their fight. They then took to the stage to discuss women's issues through a lesbian lens and to illustrate why it was important to showcase this viewpoint. Lesbian issues were seen as a legitimate concern for feminism at the following year's Congress to Unite Women. The Stonewall Riot Inn was a gay bar owned by the Mafia, which was opened in 1967. At this time, it was illegal to be gay, gender non-conforming, or really to have an identity which was not cisgender heterosexual. Due to this law, people would go to bars like the Stonewall Inn where they felt it was safe to express themselves, although this wasn't always the case, and these venues were often raided by the police. One raid in the Stonewall Inn in 1969 sparked the Stonewall riots where people fought back in a mass protests. This continued for months after the initial demonstration, and once again, lavender was used as a symbol of queer identity and solidarity. In 1974, in Boston, Daniel Thaxton and Bernie Toll created an advert for gay media action advertising. This was a lavender rhinoceros. The colour would be a symbol of the merge between masculine and feminine, pink and blue, and the rhinoceros is an often misunderstood animal. These two things in combination was their way to celebrate and promote the LGBTQIA+ community. The rhinoceros was sent to media outlets in March in the hopes of drumming up enough support to showcase the animal at the upcoming Pride March. In May, the MBTA and Metro Transit Advertising Company raised the price of the adverts from $2 to $7 per ad. This was not a cost which the gay media action could cover. They protested this price increase by presenting their case in court and facilitating a campaign where hundreds of letters were sent to the MBTA and MTA. This did not help decrease the price of the ad. The guest of honour in the 1974 Boston Pride March was the lavender rhinoceros, created using paper mache and celebrated by people wearing t-shirts, pins and placards. This animal is seen as a symbol of the queer community and their defiance to be seen and celebrated to this day. These are only a few examples, but you might not have stayed till the end of the video if we had listed them all. These moments in history continue to shape our world today and have been vital to the freedom and safety of many people who identify within the LGBTQIA+ community.